Patrick Mahomes has had 5 games this year where he has not thrown an interception. The other 6 he has. In 3 of those contests, he's had at least 2 interceptions. All right? Last night, it was 3. Drew Brees has 1 interception this entire year. 1. That's it. And when you look at the precision with which he does what he does, when you look at the way that he runs New Orleans offense, it's just a magician at work before our very eyes. It's not about Patrick Mahomes, having a bad game or, not being as good as we thought. No, he's every bit. I'm at the game last night, guys, and Max, you can appreciate this. I'm in the end zone. I'm standing in the end zone, and Fred Dreyer, who used to play for the Rams, I think it was from like 72 to like 84, but he used to be the star of that show, Hunter. They were honoring some of the old school guys during the game. So Fred Dreyer was one of the guys that came over to introduce himself to me. He's about 72 years old, looks great. Vince Ferragamo, you guys know that name, another guy that was a quarterback for the Rams from 77 to like 84. He came over. They could not stop raving about Patrick Mahomes and what they have been seeing from him. So everyone recognizes the greatness that we're witnessing before our very eyes. But the flip side to it is that it just so happens to be in a year where Drew Brees is he is just doing some things that we say. So I'm of the mindset, I'm just from the mindset that Patrick Mahomes, to me, with this 3 interceptions, these 5 turnovers, this loss to the Los Angeles Rams that Drew Brees beat, I think that Drew Brees basically has the MVP in his hands.
There's too much football to play to rule Patrick Mahomes out. Drew Brees is playing as perfect a quarterback as I have ever seen. In fact, he's playing so well this year, he's elevating himself in the all-time rankings, I believe. This is a perfect quarterback we're seeing in Drew Brees. However, Patrick Mahomes has 37 touchdowns so far. That's 8 ahead of number 2, who's Andrew Luck. 37 touchdowns. The all-time record's 55. If this man winds up with 60 touchdowns and sets the record, and by the way, and the Chiefs wind up with a better record than the Saints, which can still happen, or the same record, and guys, do you understand that they only have 2 losses on the season, both by a field goal, both on the road, and the odds makers give you a field goal for the home field advantage? They basically only have road losses because they were on the road by field goals. This man, Patrick Mahomes, who's being criticized by some today, just threw 6 touchdowns, 500 yards, and put up over 50 points. So does he lose to a better team, maybe, or a team on the road because they made some defensive plays? Did he make some critically bad decisions late in the game? Yes, he did. But how many quarterbacks would have even had their teams, even that Kansas City team, there at the end of the game the way Mahomes did? A handful at most. Mahomes is certainly still in the MVP conversation. It is being led by Drew Brees. That could easily change before the end of the season.
Listen, he didn't lose it for me. When you get into these type of shootouts and you do the things that Patrick Mahomes does, you don't fall out of the MVP race. And you're looking at the LaMarcus Joyner interception late in the game. The game was over. That wasn't a situation where they were going to come back. He was just tossing it down the field, seeing if he can make a play. I do agree with you in this, Stephen A. It's not that Patrick Mahomes is falling out of the race. It's that Drew Brees is elevating himself to a point where he is going to be hard to deny. And he's been denied his whole career. Drew Brees has always been a guy that can compile number, always been an accurate passer. But the precision and the efficiency we're seeing Drew Brees play with is like nothing I've ever seen in my life. And so Patrick Mahomes may end up with 55 touchdowns. Max said 60. I don't think 60 is out of the question. What I do think is when the voters get there and it's time to make their vote, they say, you know what? Drew's never gotten one. Drew's the all-time passing yards leader. Drew has played at a rate that is more efficient than any quarterback we've ever seen this year. We owe him this one. And they'll feel that Patrick Mahomes can get his down the line. But to say that he is out of it because of last night is crazy to me, because to me, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't in the game where they give up 54 points without Patrick Mahomes.
By the way,
no.
I
want to come back at what you said. Because remember, y'all are addressing what I'm saying, and y'all are being very, very slick, and I don't like it. So let me correct both of y'all right now. Damn it, the question is asked right now. Of course, if Drew Brees stunk up the joint for the last 5 weeks.
Nobody said nothing about
I'm saying, hold on, wait a minute. I'm answering the question.
It means it's over.
I'm answering the question. The point is, right now, based on what you saw last night, we're assuming that both of them ball the rest of the season. So if they both ball the rest of the season, you got to go on their body of work. And I'm going with Drew Brees. And by the way, Max, I'll bring this up. You bring up the difference, the 37 touchdowns, as opposed to Drew Brees. Did you know that Alvin Kamara has more rushing touchdowns than the entire Kansas City team?
Yeah,
so
you
the point
could
that
argue.
I'm trying to make is
Brees got better weapons.
You don't have to throw in other words, Ryan, that's why Ryan's laughing, because the fact of the matter is that you Drew Brees and you flinging the ball downfield, but then after that you might decide to give it to Alvin Kamara to running it.
Right, like you don't want to give it to Kareem Hunt.
Kansas City will throw it.
It's not going to be a comparison of their numbers as far as touchdowns go. It's going to be how they've affected their teams.
Exactly.
And if you look at these two teams, you can make the argument that Patrick Mahomes affects his team differently. The Saints
differently,
and Drew Brees,
but not better.
How do you say that, though? Because it's different. How can you say that?
Drew Brees, we've made the point that Drew Brees, and we all agree, is playing a perfect quarterback.
He's the leader right now.
The question is, can you do better than perfect? In other words, by being flawless, by doing the Tom Brady thing where you never make a mistake, is there a way to be better than that with some gunslinger in you? Even when Patrick Mahomes wasn't throwing interceptions, we all recognized young Brett Favre, and it wasn't just the electricity in the arm and the mobility. It was also a sense that this dude's got a short memory. He don't care. He'd go out there and go at you again. And you saw it last night.
We all got
he
the
would throw an
interception. We all got the pom-poms. I'll be quiet.
He would throw an interception. I let you speak. He would throw an interception, and the very next play.
Maybe